when you come back in. Give me some of that lollygag and scripting of all those Democrats, demons. Go ahead, Dave.
We are running a sale on our entire We the People line of products. Just use promo code TOLDYOUSO and get 15% off until the end of March. So order today.
Real News with Lucretia Hughes is funded by you, the viewers, not USAID. So to support the show, please donate through PayPal at Fallback Production Studio, Cash App $ Lucretia Hughes 44, Venmo at Lucretia-Hughes, or shop at our store, fallbackusa2.myshopify.com. Thank you so much.
Welcome back to the Real News with Lucretia Hughes. I thought Dave was going to play that video because I want y'all to see what script it looked like. This is what you follow. This is what y'all listen to on a regular basis. So, Dave, do you got it? Okay, because I want y'all to hear this, because this is what y'all listening to on CNN, ABC, CBS, NPR, NBC, Fox News, MSNBC. This is what y'all regurgitate on a regular. Now, with all 23, 22 Democratic senators or Democrats out there mimicking and saying the same thing, it sounded to me like Barack Obama or one of his teamsters actually wrote this script themselves. So I guess we're going to all be listening to the Democratic talking point and the Democratic narrative. So go ahead, Dave.
I will immediately bring prices down starting on day one.
That ain't true. That's what you just heard. Since day one, Donald Trump's presidency, prices are not down, they're up. Inflation is getting worse, not better. The prices of grocery, gas, housing, eggs, of essentials, it's not getting better, it's getting worse. Meanwhile, Donald Trump has done nothing. Who sakes to lower prices? Instead, he's pardoned violent criminals who savagely beat police officers. He's letting Elon Musk take a chainsaw to vital government programs, and then, even worse, giving him access to Americans' most sensitive data, social security numbers, tax returns, health care benefits. He's fired thousands of essential workers, people who help our veterans to get their benefits, people fighting Ebola in Africa so it doesn't come here. He's frozen funding.
Wait, stop the damn thing. Did they say Ebola so it don't come here? Please tell me I did not hear Chuck Schumer talk about Ebola, so it don't come here. Keep going.
So many American families need cancer research, education funding, payments to family farmers, and so much worse. Why are they doing this? Trump, Musk, Doge are taking these vital services away from you for one reason only, so they can give tax breaks to their billionaires club. Their plan is awful, simply awful. Billionaires win, families lose.
Well,
And
billionaires
that
win.
is the truth.
And that is the truth.
And that is the truth.
Don't ever come back to my page regurgitating what you heard on lamestream media. I'm telling you now. I'm getting ready to start cutting y'all down because y'all sound like them. When you come over here and give me a Democratic talking point of something that you've seen, you literally sound like them. Everyone that watches other shows, y'all regurgitate the same. So when y'all come in and be like, girl, who you watch? Ain't nobody got time to watch no one. I have to do my own research so I don't sound like them. Those are sitting lawmakers. So who's writing their cues? Because is it the same ones that's doing lamestream media? Because that gave me a damn headache. So when I tried to show you the lamestream media one from Fox 5 Atlanta all the way up there to Seattle, Washington, all the way down there to San Francisco, all the way up there to Maine, and flyover country in between, no one believed it. Now you got 22 Democrats talking gibberish. And I said it wrong, but I don't give a damn. 22 Democratic senators rebuked Trump in a copy-paste speech ahead of the president's address to Congress. See, this is how I feel when y'all come and, copy and paste something in the actual, comments. I'm like, where the hell you get that from? You can't speak on your own? Nope. I can pretty much tell who I'm going to have an attitude with that day just by what y'all relay on my pages. It's redunculous. Think for yourselves. Jesus Christ. 22 Democratic, I already said all that. The speech part of so-called shit that ain't true. That's the name of their campaign. Yeah. Shit that ain't true campaign primarily attacked the president on economic policy, clinging or citing the rising cost of eggs. Price has been rising for 4 years, and now you want to open up your woo. That was a cuss word. There you go. Where's that damn cussing button? Though they also emphasize Elon Musk's Department of Government Efficiency cuts into the vital government programs. You mean their pocketbooks? It says that these are videos. The videos posted to X begin with a clip of Trump promising to bring down prices starting on day one before the senators recited the statement verbatim from chairs or couches in their congressional offices. I mean, they read it word for word for word. I'm sitting here like, we're going to keep on talking. Shit that ain't true. That's what you just heard. Elizabeth Warren, that you ain't a Native American and your tree did not split. I just wonder who slept with who in your family. I mean, y'all didn't twirl or swirl at all talking about racist. It says also, since day one, Donald Trump presidency, prices are up, not down. It's your damn. Inflation is getting worse, not better. He's pardoning violent criminals who beat police officers on. You talking about the Federation? I'm trying to stop tapping my feet. Okay. He's getting Elon Musk to take a chainsaw, literally, to the government programs that people need. No, what your pockets need. Why you want to see? God knows who I need to talk to and who I don't. Here's the point, and I keep telling you, I'm sick of these geriatric psychopaths. They glory days are over. Glory days are way over, and I am so tired of them. Only when the money is going into their pet projects do they care, and everything that they're doing pretty much destroys our nation. But I see our next guest is Markus Trent. You're gonna give me? I'm gonna throw this paper right here. What the time say? Yeah. I had rehearsed Mr. Trent stuff, but I ain't got to no more because I was holding that to this, the 6:30 hour. But you know what, everybody, our next guest, and I wish, is Frank Gunther on here, Larry Baker on here. Larry Baker, I think you've met your kindred spirit. Just like Larry Baker, what Trent does, Mr. Markus Trent does, it is fathers fighting for fathers. Now, I don't understand. Do people realize that birth certificates need to be wrote in pencil with a, an eraser, just in case that DNA said that ain't the child? Okay, I am also, because I'm one of these women. All right, I'm one of those women that didn't marry the father, but I also made sure he had a golden cape on, and anything that was happening to us was none of our kids' business, because that was their father's. Well, we have a man right here, right now, bring him on, Dave, that is fighting for the rights of fathers across the United States, because a lot of laws on the books that goes against fathers need to change. And I truly, truly believe, especially me being a mom, especially me being a single mom majority of my life, women need to taste the same pain that they try to put men and fathers through, because children need their dads. So how you doing, Marcus?
Thank you so much for having me. I'm doing wonderful here in Baltimore City.
Oh, well, that's a great place to start. Baltimore. You
Yeah.
need to hook up with Kim Klasick.
Yeah, I do know Kim Clasey. She did a lot of great work here. She ran 2 terms here, brought a lot of exposure to the corruption in the schools and the crime and stuff like that. And so, really, really supported her in her endeavors and stuff.
So, what made you really get out there and start helping fathers when most dads in most states, fathers don't have recourse or even a way to get their rights back? What made you really get out there and start fighting for fathers?
Yeah, so of course everything starts with a story, right? And so in 2020, my daughter was born, Layla. She's the love of my life, and I thank God for her. And so, just like any other relationship, right? There's a breakup, right? And when breakups happens, right? And what happened was that my daughter was removed from Baltimore all the way to Virginia. And so, in the state of Maryland, there was no law in place to protect unmarried parents. What I mean by that is that when I petitioned the courts, right? When I told the courts, I said, hey, look, mom is gone. She has taken my child all the way to another state. The courts was like, well, it ain't nothing we can do. We can't tell her to come back. And so instead of pouting, instead of, getting mad, I went to Annapolis. I got over 6,000 petitions. I reached out to our state delegates and our state senators, and we had a bill petition. The bill was drafted for Relocation of Child Safety Act. And what that bill does is that what it allows is that if someone wants to relocate, right, the other parent now can file for an emergency petition, and the courts has to hear it now in 20 days now. It took me 5 months back in 2023 to get into court. And by that time, I was already being alienated from the other parent and all that stuff like that. So that bill was the first bill ever in the state of Maryland. And it's been a benchmark because now it protects not only the parent, but it also protects the child. It also protects the aunts and the uncles, the grandparents, because what happens is that when one parent is getting alienated from one parent, right, the other parent, it affects the entire village. And so that's where it started at, the foundation, Fathers Fighting for Fathers. And since then, my fight for myself became a fight for the entire state now. So since then, we are inside of 31 Baltimore City public schools. We are grabbing the fathers by their collars, per se, and saying, hey, look, your child needs your presence inside of your schools. We started the first other fatherhood PTA gathering. And what that entails, right, is that I remember vividly, right, when I was going to school and my mom was at the PTAs, yes. Right? And so that didn't mean that my father wasn't there. My father might have been working or whatever. And so what we try to do with the fatherhood PTA gatherings is get the dads involved in their children's life, volunteering, reading, participating, and stuff like that. And so I'm so happy, to be a part of this organization, this movement, to definitely bring light and awareness to the importance of the family unit, because I have deep conservative values when it comes to the nucleus of the family. And all the studies out there show that when both parents are in their child's life to some type of degree, the child does better in school, they're less getting in trouble and all that stuff like that. So I'm very excited, about what we've been doing over the last 2 years.
I think you're fighting against social norms of 70 solid years. Because you got to remember, as long as the fathers aren't in the home, and this started right around Planned Parenthood, right around Margaret Sanger, right around Lyndon B. Johnson, when he said that this is our black community will forever be an experiment. I don't care if it's the projects taking the fathers out the home. I don't care if it's having them vote for Democrats for the rest of their lives. But it basically says that you take the fathers out of the home, then we're going to see what generation curses that is going to be developed. Well, we see what the generational curse is. I call it ratchetness.
Yeah.
Because my dad would not allow me to be ratchet. Now, when you're fighting just for, you think Baltimore, you're not fighting just for Baltimore. You're standing up for other fathers around the United States. Are you willing to take it to other states that don't have these type of laws on the books and help other fathers in different states?
Yeah, so that's what we've been doing over the last 6 months, right? We've been working in Philadelphia and New Jersey. And so we are in the process of building chapters, right, in Philadelphia, in New Jersey, and also in Virginia also too, right? And the most important thing, the Proverbs, the Bible says people perish, right, for the lack of knowledge, right? And so what we've been doing, right, I've been taking the blueprint of how we were successfully able to do it in the state of Maryland, and we're going to Philadelphia, we're going to New Jersey, we're going to Virginia, the tri-states, right? And we are educating, fathers and parents, first of all, the importance, right, of family, right? And we're trying to catch those parents before they get inside the family court system, because like you said, right, is that the government has crept in, right? And when they creep inside the family unit, they're replacing the father in the unit and everything. And then they're replacing it with government assistance. They're replacing it with all these other things. And then that's why you see a high rate of juveniles crime, you see what I'm saying, in our cities and all that stuff. So we've been working in New Jersey and in Philadelphia and in Virginia. And so we're looking to get some chapters started in June of 2025 this summer.
What do you think a guaranteed DNA test before anyone is signed up for child support?
Well, I'm glad you brought that up, because in the state of Maryland, right, we was able to lobby, right? We was able to lobby for a bill. And what this bill does is, right, when mom and dad are in that ER room, right, in that birth room, and before the child, or either when the child is born, right, the father now is able to do a DNA test. And when he's able to do a DNA test with his child right there, and that comes back to 99%, his name now is on that birth certificate. And what that does, it cuts the red tape, right? Because when the dad is not on the birth certificate, a year later, 2 years later, you got all these regulations and stuff that the father has to go to prove that he's the father. And so we just able to get that bill drafted. And right now we're waiting for in the subcommittee in the state of Maryland for that. But it's a great bill that allows the father to get his DNA test right there, you know what I mean, right on the spot, prove that he's the father, and then sealed on that birth certificate. And then that allows the father, actually, it empowers him to say, hey, look, you know what I mean? Like, I'm the father, take ownership of your child and your family.
Here's a note, because I've been watching Paternity Court has been popping up on my timeline like it ain't. It's crazy. What do you think about, because I've been seeing a lot of guys get out of jail, do a DNA, realize that they went to jail for not paying child support, come find out child ain't his to begin with. Do you feel like that parent, the mom, should be made to pay that guy back because she just blatantly lied? I'm petty.
Well, yeah, in some states, right? In some states, right? You've seen some cases in Minnesota and in Texas, right? I think Minnesota and Texas was a couple of states, right, where the judge, was able to, sanction the mother for that, you know what I mean, per se. So I think it should be, you know what I mean. But circling back to it, it's really about educating, moms and dads, right, at the beginning, right? If we really get these parents at the beginning of the stages, while things are good, right, while things are peaches and cream, and educate them and empower them to say, hey, look, take control of your family, right? Leave the government out of it, you know what I mean, per se, because if you step inside the family court systems, right, you're now going to be told what to do, when to do it, and how to do it for the rest of your life. And that is one of the reasons why the fathers, right, are not inside the family unit. And our saying this, right? And Whitcomb said it best. I forgot who said it, but they said it best. They said, when the government has asked the mother to marry the government more than the husband or the father, you know what I mean? That's when the welfare system came in.
Yes.
And when you got systems in place that are lobbying for the mothers, hey, look, you can get this benefit here if the dad is not in the household. You know what I'm saying?
It's
so
true.
what type of policy?
I was one of those women.
You know what I mean?
You get more benefits, more help, more everything, but you don't give your kids a sense of pride at all.
Right.
You don't have,
right.
They don't have that too, Father. But here's this, because there was a video just popped up in my head, and it looked like the videos from the 1970s, and it was 4 black ladies, 4 single moms sitting around being interviewed, and they're asking, are you planning on marrying the father? No, I'm not going to marry the dad. Why not? I get more benefits from the government. Why would I marry a father to come in here so I can cut off my benefits, my Section 8, my welfare, my projects, my food stamps, everything like that? So why would I want to marry my child's father when I know I can get paid more? And that was the destruction of the black unit and the black family when they realized, yeah, you need a man to have a baby. Well, not in 2025, you don't. But you need a man to have a baby, but you don't need, they don't want you to help that man to raise that child. Here's a question. Let's say a deadbeat mom, because we know there's a bunch of bitches out there. I mean, very bad women out there. Do you want to help your organization actually set up something to help these fathers not only with their legal rights, legalities, but maybe a new job, starting over, housing or something like that, as they're taking steps to get custody and full custody of their child? So you're not only helping them get full custody, but you're also giving them a new lease in life. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I think that's a great idea, and that's something that we are implementing. If people go to www.fathersfightingforfathers.org, right, we have a strategic plan that's laid out, right. We address different areas, right, because we know that a lot of fathers, right, come from different backgrounds, and so one of the things that we are doing is the fathers, right, that are not in their children's life. And that could come from child support, that can come from the system, that can come from the government that's kicking them out and stuff like that. We are taking strategic steps towards them to get back into their children's life. We're hooking up with resource centers, right, providing them job training and stuff like that. And so also what Fathers Fighting for Father does is that we do advocacy work, right? A lot of fathers reach out to us. Hey, you know what I mean? I want to get back in my child life. I don't know how to file a petition for visitations, right? I don't know how to file for access. And so we have a legal team, right? 2 paralegals, right, that work on our team that specifically meet with these fathers, helping them, and everything is free of charge because it's those small donations that come in and keep us rolling and all that stuff like that, right? So we are, one of the big pet peeves that our mission is not only to bring awareness to the fathers that are out there doing the good stuff, but also to try to fix the problem. And I am really praying that President Trump, right, really somehow, some way, right, does executive order, right, reaffirming parental rights for their child. Because right now, right, in the state, let me tell you what's going on in the state courts, right now, that it's a lot of parents that are being denied access, visitation up to a year for their children.
CPS involved? The CPS got involved. The Department of Family and Children Services got involved. I call them the baby snatchers.
Oh yeah. And it's 21st century human trafficking. That's all it is. Human trafficking, 21st century, taking a child, and then they get compensated when they take a child and get someone else to raise the child while the mother or the father is there. And listen, we're not talking about parents that, you know, some parents that have mental health issues or drug abuse or have abused their child. We are talking about parents, right, that desire to be in their children's life, that want to be in their children's life, and for whatever reason, CPS has crept in, right, and have taken their children out of their life. But I really hoping and praying that President Trump really takes a look, right, at the family court systems and does some type of executive order reaffirming our rights. Our rights are protected by the Constitution, by the First Amendment, the 7th Amendment, and the 14th Amendment, that every parent has the right, to raise, care, and provide for his child. And no judge And a lot of these judges are woke judges, right? In the state courts, a lot of them have been depriving, especially the fathers, of their right to raise their child. It took me 5 months to see my daughter, and I had this one judge tell me, "Oh, you haven't seen your child in 5 months. I'm afraid that she even remember you."
Oh,
What type of comment is that to make? Yes, that is the comments that is going on. And the first time that my daughter saw me in 5 months, the first thing she said to me, "Hey, Daddy, where you been at?" You know what I mean? And so,
talk about your
but I'm
book.
really hoping and praying.
You talk about your book you dedicated to your daughter.
Huh?
Talk about your book, because I did find that book online, the one you wrote about your daughter, Layla.
Oh yeah. Oh my goodness. Yeah. So that was I really, I got the idea actually from my grandmother. And, when I was growing up, I remember vividly seeing a lot of stuff, from pictures from my grandma when I was little and stuff. And so my grandma she said to me, she said, "You know what, you should do a book, right? For Layla, right? So let her see, because the first 2 years, my daughter's 4 now, but the first 2 years was very, very stressful for me, right? Being taken away and alienated and all that stuff like that. So, I took my time and I went through my phone and I just took really good pictures and moments of when she was first born, her first birthday, when she went to church, the playground. And so that she can see when she gets older, like, damn, Daddy was there. Daddy was doing what he's supposed to be doing. And since then, I'm really lobbying the state of Maryland right now to change that bill, House Bill 440, to Layla's bill, because it was my daughter is the one, the reason why that bill has been established. So I'm really hoping that they take into consideration of changing that. And she's going to see very shortly. She's 4 now, and she's already know how to count to 1 to 20. And she's going to see very well what her father has been doing for her and other fathers in this country.
Well, she already, you've already made history. Okay, that's the only thing I can tell you. You've made history by standing up for other fathers. You've already made it, because fathers need to come back on the forefront. And I truly believe the natural order of things and the way God placed them on earth is God, man, woman, and child. And it does take two. A woman is the nurturer, the father is the protector and leader. So having both point of view, something that and I can only say that's something I refuse to do to my kids' dad. That didn't make any sense, because they're gonna need him, and I don't want them ever hating on me because I decided to separate them and tell a bunch of lies. But trust me, for every woman out there, for everybody that is thinking I am stretching this so far, I'm not. I'm sure you got some in your family or in your community or even your brother or even your spouse. So there's a lot of this happening. And what he's talking about, defects, the butterbox babies, the baby snatchers, if we see it right now, there's a lot of situations where parents are refusing medical advice and they're getting their babies snatched away because of a court or a judge is telling them, and they're thrown in a system. Now you're telling me that, do the state get paid? Every child that is taken, do the state get paid?
Yes, the state, every child that gets taken from a family, whether it's through child protective services, whether it's through adoption per se, the state gets an incentive for that. And not only that, though, but judges also get incentives when they push child support down. Listen, I want to be very clear on your station that we advocate and we push for fathers, for parents to take care of their child, but it should not be a quick pro quo. A judge should not be saying, oh, okay, all right, well, if you agree to this child support, you can see your child. You see what I'm saying? But that should not be going on. You know what I mean? And so that's what a lot of times, because they know that they use the child as a bargaining tool, because a lot of fathers want to spend time with their children.
And mothers pay child support.
And mothers too,
Let me raise my hand, because I paid child support for 18 years. So if any woman out there got your lip on the ground, you better shut up, because I know what was taken out of my bank account and my checking account for my 2 middle kids. So we already
but you know
that.
What though?
Me.
I am very I'm very much hopeful.
Did he? Oh,
I'm very hopeful. Right. I was laying across the bed one day, and I was at that point of with fathers fighting for fathers, and I just said, I know that God has spoken something about fathers, right, and taking on the challenge and stuff. And Malachi 4:6 says that He will turn the hearts of fathers to their children, and turn the hearts of children to their fathers. That's Malachi 4:6. And so, and that's on my website. You know what I mean? And so that's our goal, to turn the hearts of these fathers back to their children and turn the children back to their fathers.
Maybe, just maybe, because Trump has came out within the last month and said that parents need their rights, and because we are the parents of children. Maybe, just maybe, whatever he's getting ready to say tonight at 9 o'clock is supposed to shock a lot of people. And I don't think it's just the Democrats, but I think that he's going to get ready to make that a staunch announcement. Not only is it schooling, medical, health, everything. I think, and I'm just saying this, that Donald Trump and his administration is going to start giving parents more rights that has been taken away from us in the last decade, because it's been the last decade. So I truly believe it. But I think it's been going on longer than that, because we know about the Butterbox baby since the 1930s. They was literally taking poor whites, poor blacks, females, single mothers, kids, and telling them that they died, but they was actually selling them to a higher bidder or to a rich family. So and I think that was in either Tennessee or Alabama. So
Alabama. Mm-hmm.
I was disgusted, but I've had my stuff, and I've had my issues with defects. So I feel a certain type of way when it comes to the baby snatchers inside of the state of Georgia. So I had to deal with them over 20-something years ago. So I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah, and I agree wholeheartedly with you. I think that the way President Trump is going down the list with these executive orders, whether it's immigration, whatever it might be, right? I'm really hoping that, and if he's not tonight, right, I'm really hoping that those who have his ear, right, really put that in his ear to come out. Because at one point in time, President Trump was a single father.
Sure was.
At one point in time, remember, he went maybe about 16, 17 years as a single father. You know what I mean? And so, we are really petitioning, the White House to really put that executive order to reaffirm that parents in the United States have their rights to raise their children.
Which
and
secretary?
The states, the lower courts, should not be in prison.
What department? Handle this? Is it Health and Human Services? I'm trying to think who we need to get. Who do we need to get in contact? Who do we need to all petition? Who would handle this? In what department? You said it was Health and Human Services. Who's over Health and Human Services? Find that out. Somebody who's over, because it's a live show. Who is over Health and Human Services? I think we need to start there. If we're going to catch anybody's attention in the government at this point, let me just look for it for myself. Lord, made me have a hot flash trying to think of who the heck is the new secretary for 2025. Let's put 2025. But we're going to find out. Robert F. Kennedy. No. Yeah. No. Yeah. Yeah. It's Robert F. Kennedy Jr. It's Robert F. Kennedy Jr. Let's start tagging him every day on X. We know for a fact he tweet like crazy. He like Donald J. Trump. If you want to get in contact with the Department of Health and Human Services, go follow JFK Jr. on over there on X.
And Attorney General Pam Bondi, because she's the top cop in the country. And so their job, Pam Bondi's job, is to enforce and protect the rights of citizens. Yes, Pam Bondi, I looked her up the other day. Her job is to protect the rights of citizens in all type of capacity. So those two people right there are inside of the Trump administration. They are the legs, per se, when it comes to regulating the lower courts, the state courts, and doing what they're supposed to be doing.
Okay, I got Pam Bondi, RFK Jr. Pam Bondi got an X account. RFK got a X account. How will we catch their attention? Is it your website as we're tagging them over there on X and tagging their names? Because you got to do something catchy for people to share it and reshare it and reshare it until it hits them or somebody in their office take notice of your cause. And it is Fathers Helping Fathers. Now, when we do this and we start, really slamming them daily, because I'm talking about daily.
Yeah, and that's what we have to do.
Well,
that's what we have to do.
What do you
Instagram,
have?
On Instagram, my handle is FF4F on Instagram, FF, the number 4F Inc. On Facebook, it's plain and simple Fathers Fighting, the number 4 Fathers on Facebook. And on Instagram, on Twitter, on X, it's Fathers F Fathers.
Fathers F Fathers. F.
Yes.
Okay, because now what we're going to need is a poster, flyer, something that is like one sheet. All they got to do is just click on it. It's right there, because we're going to start tagging them. You tag team them, I tag team them. Hold up. Because, X-Filers, it's a whole bunch of them over there just creeping on my page. It's 116 people right now watching on X. Y'all understand what we're trying to accomplish.
Wow.
I know right now, this watching live, if you hear the sound of my voice, this is what I want y'all to do over there on X. It is Fathers, F Fathers on X. Go and he's going to send me something so we can start putting it on our timelines. And all you got to do is tag Pam Bundy, and she has her own. Make sure it lights up now, and make sure it's the right one. I don't care if you got to tag both of her profiles. Go ahead and tag that. And then once you finish, you want to tag RFK Jr. too. He has 2 Twitter accounts. So not only are you going to tag HHS, because somebody writes on there almost every day, you're going to go over there to RFK. He forever writing on X. And then you want to get to Pam Bundy. They are forever writing on X. Now, when it comes to HHS, and also, she is the CIA. She's CIA? Yeah, she's CIA. Well, in order for them, they bona fide. She tweets daily. So I would say, every time she tweets, get in that tweet. Drop your link. Drop your flyer. Every time she tweets, drop the flyer. Every time RFK tweets, drop the flyer in there. Sooner or later, it's gonna catch somebody's attention. I guarantee you that. Even if it's their handlers. So you've already got the groundwork. You already got what you want to do. I say do it. Ain't nothing to it but to do it.
Yeah, the Bible says 1 can chase 1,000, 2 can chase 10,000, right? And so, we got the right people, I believe in administration right now that can actually do this, that make change, and we all know that, he has about 2 years, really, while he has both the Congress and the Senate, and so I'm hopeful and I'm optimistic, and it's platforms like what you're doing now to getting the word out that I really appreciate, getting the word out there in reference to what we're doing to wake up, these people, because if we don't speak out and tag and do everything we need to do, they don't know. No. Right. And so and a lot of people don't know. I want to say this also, too, is that we know about Joe Biden, right, and what he did in 1990 with the crime bill. Right. A lot of people don't know, but Joe Biden also was one of the people that affected the family court systems in 1990 by taking out, I think it's ADR, right? And he took out ADR, which allowed us to bring in evidence, right? To argue when we went inside the family court system. So in the 90s, he did a lot of damage. Joe Biden did a lot of damage in the 90s in the Senate.
Come on, his mentor was Strom Thurmond. He was like the walking KKK poster boy. Come on now. Remember, Joe Biden said he didn't want his kids growing up with them jungle monkeys.
Yeah.
Boy, he gonna bust hell wide open. I don't have no love. I have no love for the Bidens. I don't have no love for Democrats. So it is what it is.
All that stuff they took us through.
So, because we almost at the end of the first hour of the show, go ahead and close it out. Tag yourself. Let everybody know how to help. Send me what you want for me to put on my timelines, put it on my X feed, and I ain't got ain't no harm in my game. I just tagged the FBI because somebody threatened Donald Trump's life.
Yeah, so once again, thanks for having me. People can go to the website www.fathersfighting4fathers.org. My Instagram is FF4F Inc. My Facebook is Fathers Fighting for Fathers, and my Twitter account is Fathers with an F4. And definitely we can continue, to raise our voices up in this community and around the state of Maryland. And if anyone, your listeners out there, please go, tag, President Trump, or even on social media, Elon Musk, because Elon Musk is a single father.
Yes.
He's raising his children.
Wait a minute. He don't count. He's the richest man on earth. He gonna have like 55 kids.
Right, but he went through it also too at one point.
He's going through it right now. He's going through it right now. This last chick that had baby number 13, I don't know what is up with him and Mariah Carey baby daddy. But they need to put it in the past. You know what the rumor is? They're having all these kids just in case.
Yeah, but he went through it also too. But I really appreciate you having me on. And I look forward to working with you and continue to highlight these issues. And I thank you for your service. I thank you for continue to raise your voice and your platform for the veterans and for everybody else also too for this great country.
Thank you so much. For everybody else, y'all stay tuned. Carlos Camacho, give us like 8 minutes. We'll be right back. Go ahead, Dave.